How do you like the convention so far?
So far so good. I'm getting prizes. It's entertaining. No, it's very important. The convention is very important because we spent 2 years to make this movie, almost 3 years. Now it's a time when these people sitting in this room will either help or not to connect to the audience.
Now, at this convention, you just won the International Filmmaker Award?
Yeah, and just have some press and just to try to convince people to that this movie is something special.
Yeah, so let's talk about Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer. Now, it's just really funny is because every time I pronounce it, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer, I can't help myself to laugh at the name of the title. How are we supposed to take this seriously?
I don't know. I think if you see the movie, you will take it seriously. And I think the title is challenging because people who saw the movie they're saying that the movie is much more impactful than they were surprised how big movies, how deep and dark and edgy and dramatic.
Now, so what exactly is the tone of this movie then?
It's a series. It's a origin superhero story about Abraham Lincoln. When the first time the superhero is not cartoon character. It's real man who lived and struggled in the 19th century in reality.
Now, I know you keep on calling Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer as a superhero, but when I imagine a superhero, I imagine him to have superpowers. What powers are you talking about here for the president?
First of all, he was unbelievable, and you'll see when he learned. His mentor, Henry Sturgis, trained him how to use special weapons and axe and to kill vampires. And vampires, they have supernatural power, and to kill them, you need supernatural power. You need skills. And the second is what's more important. He was so honest that it becomes his supernatural power. His nation, his political achievements. It's what makes him a superhero. It's a story when we begin with a young boy, 19 years old boy, and we will live with him all his life from 19 till 55, and we will struggle when he was a young lawyer by day and hunter by night, chasing vampires, and how he met his beautiful Mary Todd Lincoln, and how he saved her because her ex-boyfriend, Stephen Douglas, was connected with the dark side.
He was allied with the not quite a vampire.
No, he was part of their camp. And then how he found that the vampires using slaves as a food, and he understood that he must help them, help his people to fight with their enemies.
Now, I understand you did a lot of extensive research into Lincoln's biography to keep up the realism of this.
Yes, but it was only way to make this movie not a joke. To research and to find the very specific details, very specific moments when you can use these moments to weave the genre world into the real history. And we were lucky because Lincoln's Museum in Springfield was supporting us, helping us, consulting, and Library of Congress, and all the great historians were on our side fighting. We were in the war with the vampires.
Now, I understand you have been living in the United States for, what, 6, 7 years now? So tell me what you have learned about this great, proud nation, especially through your research.
I think why this country exists and why this country is so influential, that it's what Lincoln did. He created the country when people believe that they believe themselves. They don't live in fear. They live in hope. And they it's not a monarchy when it's when people believe that the nation can solve the problems itself. You don't need to tell people what to do. You don't need to to decide what's good, what's bad. They will decide themselves. Every person. It's believe in people. It's to believe in human beings.
Is Abraham Lincoln your favorite president now?
So far he's a great man.
Good. Now, as a reaction from the American audience, we're still trying to figure out whether we could take it seriously, but obviously once they see the trailer, it's going to be good. I do have a question, though, is that Abraham Lincoln's not known outside of the United States, particularly in Russia, right?
No, everybody knows him.
Everybody knows him?
First of all, because $5 is $5 bill everywhere.
Okay.
And, everyone knows his face with the beard and long, with the hat and no, yes, people. Of course, he's not so influential political figure as here, but who knows? I suddenly understood that for the superhero story, it doesn't really matter, because I think we'll have more problems to deal with the irony you have when you think, oh my God, the Lincoln, he's
yeah.
But then in Russia, nobody knows. It will be just American president who was a vampire hunter, and people will understand and accept it.
Okay, good. Now, the actor Benjamin Walker, he's relatively unknown in the industry. What made him that you would say he is fitting for Abraham Lincoln?
First of all, his personal qualities. What I found about him, he's honest, has unbelievable sharp sense of humor, has some very, very specific nobility. He's Lincoln for me. And because I didn't grow up here, then every time when I'm making a movie, I have to find somebody who will represent the character, represent the idea, and I can trust this person.
And you saw him as Abe Lincoln immediately?
Yes, yeah. As soon as I met him, he's for me, he's Lincoln. Maybe I'm wrong, we will see. But for me, he's Lincoln.
Let's talk about this axe of yours. Lincoln is obviously well known for wielding an axe, but this axe is different. It's I think I saw in the trailer, a gun axe?
Yes, he because he Henry Sturgis, his mentor, asked him, like any mentor in a superhero movie, to pick the weapon. And Lincoln says, I was a rail splitter and I probably will be good with axe. He said, okay, I will teach you how to use axe. And then Lincoln, the axe becomes his weapon, secret weapon. And Ben Walker spent 3-4 months every day, 5 hours, to learn how to manipulate with axe, when the axe constantly in motion, because the whole idea of this mythology is axe has to be in motion all the time. Then you will just use this energy, and there's a whole concept behind it we developed. And but because the movie is his life was very long, and the movie is very long, then you need to use, in different moments, you need a different type of weapons. And then Lincoln modified the axe, and there was a gun inside the handle, and there's bayonet